And we welcome you back. CBS 42 is your voice, your station. A neighbor living in Avondale called us concerned about the loud music that comes from a nearby business. And after years of asking city leaders for help, he turned to CBS 42 for answers because he wanted something done about it. There's a live concert tonight at the Avondale Brewing Company, and that's where we find CBS 42 News reporter Jen Cardone, who's looking into what can be done to help neighbors just fed up with the loud music in their backyards. I can hear the music behind you now, Jen.
That's right, Art. And well, the brewery tells me this is one of its biggest acts yet here tonight. Glass Animals is here and will be for just a little bit longer. But for the residents who live nearby, they tell me that the bigger the band, the bigger the boom. At a typical concert night at Avondale Brewing Company, these are the lights and sounds that stretch down 2nd Avenue South.
It's like it's in a stadium or something, like a football stadium, watching the Super Bowl or something. That's how loud it be.
For decades-long resident Thomas Edwards, it's become too much. From his porch, you can feel the vibrations when bands crank up the bass.
If they have a concert over there now, we're going to be up to about 12, 1 o'clock, and might not go to bed at 2 o'clock.
Down another block from him,
it's very loud. It's definitely loud.
Kayla Jones says it drowns out their music.
It's loud. My mother, she sometimes complains about it because of the loudness, especially like after 9. And, you know, we can't enjoy ourselves out here because of the music.
We took these concerns directly to the brewery.
This year, you're starting to see these bigger acts come in. As Avondale's brewery's reputation has kind of grown nationally, we're starting to attract bigger and bigger acts.
Co-owner Michael Sellers says when it comes to volume, they model venues like Stubbs in Austin, Texas that don't exceed 100 decibels. Sellers says they have a device to check with all night.
What we started doing probably as early as 2018 was looking for ways to help mitigate the sound, but also work on policy that would help so everybody can coexist.
We have a very hard time in the city of Birmingham enforcing a noise ordinance because it is kind of up to discretion.
Councilman Hunter Williams oversees public safety in the city. He says police constantly check up on Avondale.
A lot of times what people feel is an obnoxious noise or could be a noise complaint, they might be in compliance with the law.
The city's ordinance prohibits loud noises more than 50 feet from the building, structure, or open space, which either annoys, disturbs, or injures or endangers the health, peace, or safety of reasonable persons of ordinary sensibilities. But for every show, the brewery gets a noise permit to keep those concerts going, and they agreed to end shows by 10 p.m., except with special permission.
I think that having noise stopping at 10 p.m. Is striking that balance, and I think looking at ways that we can have an ordinance that is more enforceable and allows some self-reporting also is a big win for the residents.
That self-reporting is something Avondale Brewing tells us it just launched in 2021.
I would take that out of kind of the it feels as if and move it into more of the science aspect of it.
Saying it's necessary for a measurable decibel reading to be part of the law. But it'll take the work of both neighbors and a sound engineer to strike that balance.
This kind of affects the neighborhood because we all have to stay here as well.
Now, the city is working with Avondale to figure out how they can best self-report those numbers. Avondale says that having something set in law, they can then put that into those band contracts. So if a band like Glass Animals that's here right now violates it, they can then charge them a fine and then potentially give that back to the city. As for the residents who live here, Avondale says they want to hear from you and work with you to find some middle ground for everyone to be happy with. And if you have a noise complaint or need an officer to come and check something out, you can always call 311 anywhere in the city. Reporting live in Birmingham, Jen Cardone, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.
Well, Jim, we can tell you it's already after 10 o'clock right now, and that music is loud there. And if you have a story that you want us to cover, send us an email to yourvoice@cbs42.com or you can also message us on our social media pages.